listen to Creative Space on Omega Radio every Wednesday at 10:30 with your host, Catherine Shapiro. That's me, your host on this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful August morning. We are so delighted to have such a wonderful forum to talk about the arts, to talk about getting creative, and leading a more meaningful and joyful life. In the next few weeks, we are going to have a lot of wonderful guests. I have Daniel from the Coral Springs Museum of Art coming to talk about new fall programs for the families and for the kids. Everybody is a little bit in transition today, but that's totally all right. Transitions are good. We are also fortunate to have gone on a wonderful tour of the studio of Sheila Elias. She was a guest several weeks ago on the Creative Space, and I visited her studio in North Miami. It was a wonderfully inspiring, terrific place to see an artist at work, and you will be seeing that very shortly. And several others will be joining us as well. We are so happy to be here today and glad to talk about being inspired, getting inspired, and what inspires you. What's your favorite place? If you have a wonderful idea for an event, if you are a nonprofit who needs a little bit of a boost out there in the community, let us know here at Omega Radio. In the Creative Space, we are here for you. If I have learned one thing over the last few months, it's that inspiration and great ideas can be found in the most interesting places. It is amazing to me that we are actually celebrating our 6-month anniversary this week. We started broadcasting here on March 15th, 2023, and it has been a wonderful experience for us so far. And thank you to all our terrific partners here at Omega Radio. We are so happy to have them, and we love them to death. They're absolutely fabulous and a terrific, wonderful station and place for the community. Now, I know there are a lot of people going through a lot right now, and everyone deserves prayers, respect, and love in these tough times. If you're having a tough time and you need a little inspiration, give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. How many times have you wondered if there's someone out there listening? I have. And sometimes when you're not sure, it's always good to have a mentor. I have a lot of mentors over the last few years, especially in the art world. Welcome, everybody, to the Creative Space, because you're all welcome, and we love to hear from you. Some of my best mentors, believe it or not, are Lyft drivers. I actually get a lot of inspiration from wonderful people who are having second jobs, who are actually trying to get out there in the world and reach people in ways that are unique. These guys work hard, and gals work really hard, and they deserve a lot of props. And every morning that I come here, I always get an interesting one. I've seen graphic designers, I've seen artists, I've seen digital musicians, I've seen 14-year-old kids who their parents love their art, and they love to talk about their kids. It has been an amazing experience all around, and I'm so glad to have had it. Last week, we were actually out in Cypress Park, right here in Coral Springs, for our celebration anniversary paint out. And I was so glad to meet with a few of our listeners. It was fabulous. And I wanted to make sure to say thank you to all our people at the Coral Springs Park and Recreation Department for keeping our green spaces beautiful. Artists need green spaces. Everyone needs green spaces. They are some of the best places to get inspired. I do a lot of things to get inspired. I do a verse a day. Sometimes you just open your book, your Bible, your Torah, your Tanakh, to a particular place, point a finger, and God will take you where you need to go. I don't know how many times that's happened to me. I've taken up the practice of doing what we call daily affirmations. There are places where you can find great quotes, wonderful ideas that you can use every day to make yourself feel good and to make the world into a better place because you've changed yourself. It does nobody any good to try to change the world until you have changed and controlled yourself. So my feeling is, let's start with ourselves first. What's the thing that you most want to change? There are lots of ways to break a habit, good or bad. Hang around with good people. That gives you good habits. Find a system and stick to it. That gives you great habits. Every great artist that I know of had a host of good work habits where you actually make time to show up for the muse, whoever she is. She's your angel. She's your mother. She's a good friend. He is a trusted ally. There are lots of different things to inspire you out there. And the job of the artist is to find them and to recognize them when they show up, because sometimes they're not always easy to see. If you've ever had a moment where you said to yourself, wow, that's the time to stop and pay attention. I saw a butterfly the size of a bird today. How often do you get to see that? Look around for the smallest things in your life. The smile of a best friend, your child, your dog wakes you up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Yes, it's annoying. Certainly is. But you know what? That guy loves you unconditionally, and he will give his heart and soul to you. Just like the good Lord up above, who never leaves us, who's always with us no matter our struggles, no matter our thoughts, no matter how we look. He's there. The divine presence is there. All you got to do is look for it. It's the best way to get inspired that I know of, to just sit, pray, and listen. And there are all kinds of names out there for that divine presence, and I would not in my arrogance say that I know them all. But I have met a few of them. If you are listening to us right now and you have an inspiring moment that you've had in the past week since we talked last, give us a call. We would love to hear from you. We are also, if you're on the go and you can't catch us right away, on YouTube. We are live on Facebook, You can comment, you can chat with us at Omega Radio. If you are on the road, we would love to talk to you. Hands free, of course. Please let us know. I am told that there are a lot of wonderful artists out there in the great land of Jamaica. In fact, I've been there a few times and I know you're out there. So come on, guys, call in. Let us hear from you. It looks like we are hearing from Kevin. Hi, Kevin. It's good to hear from you. If you have a question, go ahead, type it in. We would love to talk to you. If you need the number to call, toll free, it's 1-877-9494-0253. Again, that's 1-877-494-0253. We would love to hear from you. And I am so excited. Several weeks ago, I had a friend from Jamaica call in, letting me know that he had been inspired to continue writing his book. He put it down for a while. Sometimes that happens. You put it down, pick it up again. It never leaves you. That's the thing about God's gifts. If you don't acknowledge them, they wait for just the right time to pop up, right when you need them, and right when He needs you to help Him change our world. I'd love to hear from Dane Brown one more time about that book, so give me a call. Again, the number toll free is 1-877-494-0253. And of course, we would always love to hear from our friends right here in Florida. And I am so happy to be a citizen of the city of Coral Springs, which has this great station. And I am glad that you are out there, because freedom needs people who are vigilant and who watch and who use the rights that they are given. An artist has a voice, and that voice does nobody any good until you use it. And there are lots of positive ways to use it, and one of them is here. We are here in the creative space. We're at 101.9 FM every Wednesday, talking the arts, talking inspiration, and hopefully helping others to lead a much more creative life. And you ask, what is a creative life? A creative life is a life lived as your best self in service of others and for the glorification of that divine spirit we all know is there. This is a time in my tradition where you think about the year that was past. You say to yourself, have I ever harmed anyone? Have I not said something? Have I not done something I should have? God, forgive those who have done to us, and we ask your kindness and mercy for the things that we have missed out on this year. It's a way to acknowledge everybody makes mistakes. If I have in the past year, I would definitely wish to make sure that everybody knows that I sincerely regret it, and I hope to do better in the next year to come, as does everybody, because we are all imperfect, finite creatures. We do have that divine spark, and everyone has that divine spark. Come share your spark with us. Help us get inspired. In the next few weeks and for our next show, we'll be talking about something called intentional creativity. The science behind the creative process is just now being discovered. And part of it is the fact that we can use and tune in to that creative impulse, that part of our brain that is creative, to heal our hearts, heal our minds, heal the world around us. Things change in your brain when you tune into that creative part of you, and everyone has it. There are some that say that a mind is like a computer, and it very much is like that. It believes everything you tell it. If you tell it you are a wonderful, gifted artist with something to give to the community, if you tell it you're a talented accountant, and you prove that every day in the office, if you're a teacher teaching our kids, and by the way, the first week of school, welcome back, teachers, welcome back, kiddos. We are so glad to have you back, and I hope you're safe and learning a lot where you are right now. Everybody is creative, and everybody deserves the opportunity to use their creative voice to better the world, because we know it can be done. We do it here every day at Omega Radio. So, back to intentional creativity. We are asked through intentional creativity to use our intentions to heal the problems and the struggles that we have. Say you're a procrastinator. Paint yourself a clock. Give yourself a deadline. Sometimes it helps. In fact, I have an expert in intentional creativity coming by next week to let us see some of the results of that intention. Some people would call it, I imagine, meditation. Some people would call it prayer. Most of prayer is listening. It's not necessarily talking, is it? You hear that still small voice, and sometimes you can't hear it with all the noise. So it's a good idea to get out in a quiet place and just listen. What's that voice saying to you right now? If it's saying something really good, that is terrific. Call us, share it with us. We would love to have you. Thanks for contacting us, Kevin. We were so glad to hear from you. Hopefully, we will hear a bunch from all of our listeners and watchers and viewers. I saw quite a few people on our video in Creative Space Fridays on Facebook last week. I'm glad to have you. We're discussing in further depth some of the wonderful topics we talked about in Wednesday's show. This week we're going to get organized, because it's hard to be creative and have your mind work right until your space around you is organized. And you would be surprised how little space you need. My home-based studio is under the stairs in my townhouse. I know people who've worked out of the trunk of their car. So yeah, all you need is a little bit of space in your physical environment and a lot of space in your mind, because that's where the real magic starts. Widen your mind and commit yourself to seeing something new every day. That is the way human minds get inspired. That's the way they get energized. They see new things, new people, new places. For that, computer wallpaper is some of the best things on the planet. They have all sorts of pictures of places you've never been, I've never been, but you would hope to be, and they're beautiful. And a lot of them are free. You can put them on your phone. A lot of wonderful things are out there for people to see, and you gotta go looking for them, because sometimes the world is a strange place and they don't always come out right away. It's funny. When I come out of my house every day these days for the last couple of weeks, I have a little lizard that sits on my walker when I'm on the way out the door. Sometimes he's on the windowsill, sometimes he's by the door. I don't know what he's there for, but eventually I'll figure him out, because he shows up there every single day. And if you see something showing up to you every single day, you got to take the message that it gives you. He's got such an interesting, curious face. I think he's saying to me, always stay curious. Always keep in mind the things that are important to you, like food, like shelter, like warmth, like the love of your family. We are in the creative space, and we will get more and more in the zone as we think about what it takes to stay inspired. If you can, sometimes it's good to take a day, a whole day. Maybe you can't take a whole day to go have a picnic. Go do something, one thing for yourself, or in service of your community. Do something that inspires you. Because you can't inspire other people if your tank is empty. It's like gas. Everybody's got to have fuel. And without fuel, the car doesn't run. Give it fuel. Give it prayer. Give it good messages. Watch the wonderful things that go on in the world around you, because there are so many wonderful things going on in the world around you. Watch and listen to Omega Radio, because we are here trying to give you as much inspiration and as much life and as much joy as we can from our good friend and wonderful teacher. I have been, in all my experience, much touched by the love and the support that I see here at Omega Radio. And they are some of the nicest people I've ever met. I know that there are people out there who need the extra love and the support of a really giving spiritual community like Omega Radio. I'm a little independent, but that's all right. I am always open to new experiences, and he is a very good friend of mine. As it happens, I am so glad to say that we are here for you, and we will continue to be here for you in the creative space for as long as it takes to make the whole world a better place. I have been dedicated over the years to use art as a way to understand all kinds of people, all faith traditions, all countries, all places are worthy and beautiful, and God put them there on this planet for a reason. They should be respected, loved, and seen just for that. My driver on the way here was from Colombia, a beautiful country full of natural wonders. There are all kinds of amazing places in this world. Some of them are not their best selves right now, which means everybody's got to travel and look around for a place to call home. I'm so glad he found us, and I am so glad he's calling the United States home right now, and I will get him on to speak to you directly. He's a wonderful graphic designer. I know a lot of terrific people, like I said, who are musicians. I have heard there is actually a young man who can play the guitar with one hand. I'm going to see if I can find him. He's a good friend of another friend of mine. If you like the programming we have here and the wonderful station that we are here, show your support for Omega Radio. Support Omega Radio. Support the creative space. Support creatives in your museums, in your shopping centers, in your parks, wherever you find them. You'll find us here every single Wednesday in the creative space at 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. at 101.9 FM Omega Radio. In the last few minutes that I'm here, I would like to let you know that, as I said, we will be having a lot of terrific guests in the next few weeks. Dr. Rose Shaw, expert in intentional creativity. Dr. Karen Fiorillo, a wonderful full-time educator and yogi and wellness expert. And as I said, we are finally able to have our terrific Coral Springs Museum of Art come by for a visit in the second week in September. So hang in there, guys. We will have some wonderful shows for you in the next few weeks. And another paint out scheduled for sunset this time, a little cooler, in Cypress Park in the next few weeks. So stay tuned every Wednesday right here on Omega Radio 101.9 FM. And be good to each other.
Every day is so wonderful, and suddenly it's hard to breathe. Now and then I get insecure from all the pain. I'm so ashamed. I am beautiful, no matter what they say.
Listen, Creative Space on Omega Radio every Wednesday at 10:30 with your host, Catherine Shapiro.
Usher Triumphant Church of God present 2 nights of Restoration Crusade on Tuesday, August 22nd and Wednesday, August 23rd at Ashley Triumphant Church of God, starting 7 p.m. nightly, featuring guest speaker Prophet Taylor, Prophet to the Nation, host by Pastor Simpson, Assistant Pastor Ruby, guest soloist Sister Steph, guest host Apostle Sharon Manning Black, Bishop John Wayne Manning from KLA